All right.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to have Maputle on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming through. Can you please just quickly introduce yourself and what you do?
Thank you for having me. I'm Eugenia Maputle. I'm a support analyst in IT within the service desk space. Yeah, that's
Nice.
basically what I do.
Awesome. Something in IT. I think when we were just talking before this, I was asking you if this is something that you wanted to do. For the sake, I know the story now, but for the sake of the listeners,
Yeah.
at least let's just try to explain what made you choose IT and the idea before. Yeah, what made you choose IT?
I didn't choose IT.
Sure.
IT chose me. I usually relay that story in that manner that I didn't choose IT. IT chose me because it was a third option when I was applying for school.
What was the first and the second?
The first was project management.
Okay.
And the second was electrical engineering, only because I went to a technical school and I did electrician's work.
Okay.
So I thought I should study electrical engineering,
Which makes
right?
sense.
Okay. And then IT was the third option. And I only put it there because I didn't really know what other subjects I could apply for. And I put IT there because my aunt studied IT. So I said, okay, third option, let me just put IT. And then I wasn't accepted for project management because you're supposed to have a diploma before you do project management.
Oh, yes.
In CPUT, right? I
Yeah.
studied at CPUT.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
And then electrical engineering, I was not accepted for that one because they said I should have an N4. So they didn't accept me for that. And I gave up hope and I thought, okay, let's see if Bloemfontein will accept me. And then Cape Town sent a letter again saying that I have been accepted for IT. So that's why I say I didn't choose IT. IT chose me.
You. Sure. Interesting thing. Bloom. Why did you choose Cape Town?
Again, I didn't choose Cape Town.
Is it that thing where you said like you got an acceptance from CPD, then from there onwards?
So again, Cape Town, I only applied to Cape Town because my aunt was in Cape Town.
Oh, okay, I see.
She studied in Cape Town and then now she was working in Cape Town at that time. Bloemfontein, I applied in Bloemfontein as well at CUT, only because Bloemfontein is closer to home. Yeah.
Okay, then you start doing IT. I guess you had to develop love for it. How was that like?
It's still a work in progress.
How many years now?
Oh my soul. Yo, it's been many years.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm gonna reveal my age. But anyway, I've been in the industry now for 11 years this year.
Okay.
But I started in 2007. I came to Cape Town in 2007
Sure.
to do my first year. Yes.
So which means 11 years later, still
It's
finding
still,
your way.
I'm still finding my way. I like I said, I didn't choose IT. IT chose me,
Sure.
and I believe that only God knows why, right? I'm still trying to find that why, but while making money in that journey and learning a lot in that journey.
Sure.
So yeah.
So you start with IT. You are at CPUT. What is it that like you find interesting, and then what is it like a big shock for you as you're studying?
Okay, so by the way, I had never had a computer in my entire existence until I finished matric.
Okay.
The first time I touched a computer was after matric, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
So I learned, that was interesting for me because, I'm like, okay, keyboard, I must learn how to type now.
Sure.
But my first year in Cape Town, it was a culture shock because it was the first time that I ever left home.
Okay.
It was the first time I ever left home. So it was a culture shock. And then meeting all these different people,
Different cultures.
different language. I'm like, oh, I don't know Xhosa. I'm like, oh, okay. But my first friend ever was a Xhosa person.
Okay.
So we managed. We spoke our English. So,
Sure.
and we're still friends even today.
Nice.
And it was that. And then within the course IT, I was like, what did I get myself into? I felt like running away, but I'm like, I can't run away. I'm here now. I have to push through. So what I loved about IT, like in my first year, was a subject called system software. It had to do with binary numbers, subnetting. I enjoy that a lot.
Okay.
The other side of IT, which was programming, development,
Coding,
software, I hated it. I never understood the if statement. Till today, actually. So that's why I ran away from programming.
The coding side.
Yes, the coding side of IT. And I went the networking route of IT.
Okay.
So only because I enjoyed the subnetting, and that's why I went the networking route.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay. So, what are the different avenues? English avenues in IT, and you can go deeper into why you choose data analyst. I know you just explained now, but I just want you to just explain the different avenues that are there in IT, and then you can just go deeper into why you chose data analyst. Support analyst, yes.
Sorry for that. So IT is very broad, guys. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so big, it's broad. But when I was studying, it was divided into 3, right? It was first year, you sort of dabble with everything. And then when you go to second year, that's when you choose if you want to do programming, business analysis, or communication networks, right? So most people went the development software side, business analysis side, and then I went in fact, second year, I had to do programming whether I liked it or not because I was not accepted for communication networks.
Okay.
Yeah, because I failed development software 1.
Sure.
And you needed to pass your majors in order for you to go to go to communication networks.
Sure.
And they only took 30 students for that class, and you needed to have an average of 60% to be accepted for communication.
Like
I don't know what was so special about it. But and there were not a lot of girls in communication networks. Most girls were going the business analysis route and programming.
Okay.
So I did programming second year while I was repeating my development software 1. And then third year, I was like, no, the senior lecturer said that if I still want to do ComNet, in short, we called it ComNet, I must just go to him and tell him I still want to do ComNet. So I registered for the third year subjects plus the second year subjects of programming.
Okay, sure.
But then I'm like, I remembered that. And I'm like, no, but I still want to do ComNet. I don't know this programming and coding. When I get errors in coding, I just get nervous. So I'm scared. I'm like, these errors, I can't deal with them. Let me change this to ComNet. So I then went to him. I'm like, sir, you said if I still want to do ComNet, I can come back to you. So here are my marks. I passed development software 1 and I still want to do ComNet. So he's like, okay, just because you're a girl, I'll say yes to you because there's not a lot of girls in ComNet.
Oh, that's nice.
So he signed my papers like, go and register for ComNet. I went to admin building. It was in Belleville campus at that time. Admin building, cancelled the programming ones and registered the ComNet ones.
Sure.
So that's how I got into it. But then the question of how did I get into IT support. That was like my first break into the industry. And that's why I am in it.
Oh yeah, I understand because it's like me. Okay, it's like when you finish school, you apply everywhere.
Yeah.
and the first one that catches you is the one that you latch on.
Yes.
And you don't really get a chance to actually change or try other things depending on the job that you're working in.
Yeah.
If they have the different departments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we fall into that trap a lot.
A lot. And then we get stuck.
Exactly. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there are many factors that makes us choose careers.
Yes.
Especially when the job that we do. So when you just finish, you're just looking for everything.
Yeah.
So if for us electrical engineer, if what do you call this? Instrumentation guys take you, you're just gonna do instrumentation throughout. Because the thing is, another thing is that knowledge that you've already accumulated.
Yeah.
You don't want to start over and start and be a dumb. You understand? So going back to the different departments, because I wanted to know. So you said there's business analysis and there's ComNet.
Yeah.
And the programming.
The development software.
So these are the only ones that you have.
At that time. I don't know now because things have changed so much. Sure. So I don't know with this advanced diploma as well in place. I don't know how IT is structured now at CPUT. But back then, when I was there, those were the three, right? So, and in the workplace, there's a lot. That's where you see, so much candy in the workplace. Because in varsity, that's what you see. And that's at the University of Technology. Because at universities, like there's your computer science. Okay. I don't know which subjects are within that course. Yes. And then there's information systems.
Yes.
So IT is broad.
Yes, definitely.
It's broad,
definitely. Yeah. So you have been working now for 11 years, like you said. You have worked in different companies.
Yeah.
And what is it that you have learned throughout that journey as a support analyst?
It's different, yet the same. I don't know how to actually put that.
Okay.
You kind of do the same thing, but it's just done differently with every company.
Okay, sure.
Right? Because it depends on the business, the applications used by the business, or the products. So, my first job, I was a desktop support engineer, right? A technician. That was like, I would go to the users, we call them users, end users, to fix whatever issues they have with their machines.
Okay.
Printer, if they can't print, you have to fix that for them.
What do you call it?
Desktop support.
Support, okay, yes. Sure.
You are supporting that machine over there, basically. And many other things. Like it's also depending on the company and the job spec for the desktop support for each company.
Sure.
So I was an intern in desktop support, and we built machines. We did a lot of backup, and we...
Networking.
No, I never ever did networking, even though I studied networking, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another story. We will come to it.
Sure.
I never ever did networking.
Okay.
So I started my career in support, in IT support, be it desktop support, be it service desk, right?
Okay.
So that's what we would do. We would install software on machines. We would build it like with the operating system, Windows. Most companies use Windows. That's basically what we would do. And we would be assisted by the seniors. They would go with us. if we go to the end user, they would come with us if we are not able to do something, and then show us how to do it, so that next time we are able to assist the users without
So how is that like? You did mention that there wasn't a lot of women. It feels like IT... Does it have a lot of women?
Now, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there are women in IT, but the technical aspect of IT, like your networks, your servers, it's not a lot of them. Most women are in programming, business analysts. They're in programming, most of them.
So how was it like? Because it seems like Did you mention something about
I
fixing?
would go under the tables.
I was
I
that
actually
like
have a picture
sure.
of being under the table connecting all the cables to the PC.
Sure.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
But I always look at that picture to remind me of where I come from
Sure.
and where I'm at right now.
Sure.
So yeah, we did it. You have to do what you have to do.
Sure, definitely. The first job you did mention that you were doing
Desktop support.
right? And I'm trying just to I want to just paint a picture for me in terms of the experience. How was that like in terms of the seniors relay information to you in terms of how was the process like in terms of teaching you how to actually do the desktop support?
Okay, so even how I got that internship, it's another story.
Sure.
But we had
You should explain the story.
Should I explain the story?
No, I mean, like, there's so many stories that we had.
It's 11 years worth of stories.
Yes, sure. You can just explain them.
Okay, so my story in pertaining my career, it's a product of grace.
Okay.
Right. I was studying at CPUT. I struggled with IT. I won't lie, guys. IT is 3 years, but I finished my diploma in 6 years.
Okay.
It was hard. So in me struggling like that, I never thought I would ever get a job in IT. So I sort of bargained with God my final year. I said to him that January, I'm like, Lord, to prove that I didn't waste my time studying this course, please give me an internship in it so that it will make me know that I didn't waste my time and it was not all for nothing, all the struggle, right? And we had, at CPUT, I don't know if all universities do that, but at CPUT and in my department at that time, we had an industry exposure lecturer.
Nice. I like that.
It was a class all by itself where we were being prepared for the industry.
Sure.
Taught us how to do our CVs and would even practice how to do interviews.
Interviews, yeah.
Yes. So I'm so grateful for that class and I'm so grateful for that lecturer.
So you can give him a shout out.
I can't even remember her name.
Oh, shame. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Sure.
So June came that year and I didn't book any internship. You could either look for one yourself or you were going to be placed from that class. They would get an internship for you. But I was not placed. So June holidays came. I went home. I went to Kimberley. I went home. I'm like, okay, I'm not getting an internship. I'm going home. I'll see all of this when I come back.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get placed into the workplace, then they would give you a project at school where you have to now do this project for the last semester of that year.
It's more like your in-service.
Yes, your in-service training.
Sure.
So I went home. I was not even home for 2 weeks. Like that first week, she calls in the morning and asks me the Friday of my first week being at home for my holidays. And she calls and then she asks me, have you been placed yet? And I said, no. And then she says to me, okay, make sure that you are at campus next week, Wednesday. I'm like, okay, I just got home. I have to come back to Cape Town. So after that call, I call my mom. She was at work. I call my mom and I say to her, I have to go back to Cape Town. It's like, what's happening? I'm like, I have an interview on Wednesday. I have to be at school on Wednesday. It's like, okay, cool. My mom, she says to me that she left and like my child has to go back. She has an interview. She left work and she went to buy my bus ticket to come back to Cape Town. And then Monday we went to buy clothes for my interview. And
I mean, you're preparing for
preparing for it, right? Even though we don't know if I'm going to get it or not. And We don't even know the company, the name of the company. Even the lecturer didn't know the name of the company. She just said, there's an interview. Make sure that you're here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that Monday evening, got into the bus, got to Cape Town the Tuesday morning. I'm like, I can't even prepare for this interview because I don't even know the job title.
Exactly.
I don't even know the company.
Yeah.
And the Wednesday morning, woke up, got ready, went to campus. Now we had moved to the Cape Town campus. IT had moved to the Cape Town campus.
Oh, you did move to Cape Town campus.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
So I went to school, only to find that there's 8 of us. 8.
Competition is tight now.
It's tight. The competition is tight. It's 8 of us from my class, the ComNet class. 8 of us, and now we go into this classroom. She comes in, she tells us, okay, the role is desktop support. So while you're waiting, you can just find out what it entails so that you can sort of know how to answer the questions in there. And I said, Lord, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make myself anxious. I'm already anxious enough. I'm not going to Google this desktop support because it's too late now.
Yeah.
It's already time for the interview. Okay, fine. They gave us numbers like 1 to 8. So after number 1, number 2 must go in. After number 2, number 3 must go. I was number 4.
Sure.
I won't even forget. So we go in there. It's a panel interview. My first interview ever, a panel. And you don't even know which way to look. You just have to look at the person asking the question at the time.
Yeah.
I just told myself that I'm just going to be myself and I'm going to be honest. And then I went in there. They asked the questions. I answered them the best I knew how to. And where I didn't know how to answer the question, I just said, honestly, I don't know. And we found out that day that they only want 3 people out of the 8. You see, now it becomes even tighter.
Yes.
Okay, fine. But after the interview, and I found out the name of the company, and I'm going to give the company a shout out.
Okay.
I'm going to give the company a shout out. We went home. We went our separate ways. We went home.
Are you going back home to Bloom or you're still waiting on address?
I'm going home here in Cape Town. I was staying with my aunt.
Oh, you're staying with your aunt, you did mention, yes.
Yes. I went home, and then eventually the other lady who was there was visiting me at that time. And I don't know how she found out that they've already selected the 3. But then she told me that, they've selected the 3. And also after I found out that they want 3 people, my prayer was that I hope at least out of the 3, there's a girl. I'm like, I'm for the girls. I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, I hope that there's a girl out of the 3, right? And then she tells me the names of the people. It was two guys and 1 girl who later then became my friend.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm happy at least there's a girl. But I was heartbroken. Shepherd, I was heartbroken.
So you're not taking?
I was heartbroken. I was not taken.
No, we're not laughing.
We are. Oh my gosh, we are laughing. It's a laughing matter, actually.
Okay.
I was not taken.
Sure.
So I'm like, but I'm happy that at least there's 1 girl out of the 3.
Sure.
So I went to take a shower. I'm sorry for the TMI. I went to take a shower. When I got there, I was like, Lord, I was crying. I cried my lungs out in that shower. The nice thing she couldn't hear because the water, right?
Nice, yeah.
And I'm crying. I'm like, Lord, I really wanted that job because I looked at the logistics. I'm like, this building, this company is just here by the My City bus station. I'm just going to walk 5 minutes and I'm at work.
Nice.
That's what I looked at, right? And I'm like, I really wanted that job. I cried. But then I don't know, there's this peace that just overcame me after crying my lungs out like that. And I just started singing praise and worship in the shower.
Sure.
And I had peace and I was okay.
Nice.
Schools opened. We went back to school in July. I go to class only for me to find that the lecturer is not there, so we don't have class. I'm like, should I go back home? Because I was just doing 1 subject at that time.
Sure.
I'm like, should I go home? I'm like, let me just go to class and then I'll just be on Facebook. And then I was just on Facebook sitting there and I see a group of girls coming into the class. They're smiling. One of the girls is the one that was accepted for the role.
Sure.
And she's smiling. She's like, "You've got the job." And I'm like, "Please stop fooling with me." It's like, "You've got the job." I'm like, "Stop lying." And then she's laughing. She's like, "Why would I lie to you, right?" And then the one who told me the news of the 3 that were selected, she's like, "Okay, if you don't believe, then go ask the industry exposure lecturer." Okay, I pack my bags, shut down the PC. As I open the door, the industry exposure lecturer is standing out there, and then she's pointing, you, and you, come with me. If my heart didn't drop that day, it will never ever. Sure. And then we went with her to the offices where the lecturers were, right? And then she's like, "Sit here." We sat, and then the HOD came, and then he comes. It was my first time even seeing the HOD at that time. I don't know who the HOD is right now, but at that time, he comes. He's like, "Okay, let's go." I'm like, "Where are we going? Where are we going?" And then we get into his car. He drives. We just quiet, the 3 of us. We're quiet, we're going. And then we get there, go upstairs to the 9th floor. Yeah. And then we go into the lab. He leaves us there. He goes to the person who was our manager at that time. And then they spoke. He came back to us. He's like, "Okay, do what they do, dress how they dress, and don't disappoint me." Those were the 3 things that the HOD told us at that time, right? And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I've got a job." And then we were assigned to a mentor. And I was just baffled. Like, how did this happen? And that's why I say my career journey has been a product of grace. And that's how I got my first break into the workforce.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Media 24. And I'm going to give Media 24 a shout out because they gave me a break. They gave me a chance. I never thought that I would ever work in IT. And I bargained with God in January. I'm like, to prove that I didn't waste my time. Can I get an internship? So the person who was selected got another internship. So I guess I was next in line. So that's how,
Well, which is cool. And shout out to them.
Shout out to
for
them,
giving you a chance to shine. And maybe going back to our it's a very encouraging story. And I think that's very much important for looking at the place that we're in. We have a high unemployment rate. So you want to just encourage someone out there that, hey guys, there's so much that you can do in terms of applying, calling.
And I believe, okay, you might call me that I'm optimistic. I believe there are jobs. Because when I go on Indeed, I always see jobs, especially in IT. Okay?
Let
me speak about IT.
IT has a lot of jobs, to be honest with you, yes.
So for me, it's like, I think I mentioned this to you some weeks ago. And I said to you, we shouldn't be choosy, especially when we are in varsity and we want to enter into industry.
Okay.
Like, especially in IT, for example, like you can start even in help desk. Start in desktop support. Yes, you did networking, you did BA, business analysis, you did development software, but you're not getting a job in that sphere. Start even in help desk. Start in desktop support. Just put your toes into corporate.
Yes.
Put your toes in there, and once you are in, you can work your way up to what you actually want.
Yes. I think the what I've noticed with that is the biggest thing is knowing what you want.
Yeah.
But having lots of conversation with students, I realize that most of them, they don't know what they want.
And I feel them. Like you asked me, have I developed the lab 11 years in?
Later.
I understand students because I was a student.
Yes.
Right. And I just want to give honor where honor is due, right? I applaud you for this platform because I wish I had this type of platform when I was a student. I really wish that I had this, because when you're in high school, there's career expos where they tell you where these universities they go to your high schools, and then they say that this is what you can study, this is what you can study. But when you are in varsity, there are no people from industry coming in
to tell
us about what's happening out there in the workplace.
Sure.
So this is a great platform for students to tune into, to say, you know what, I'm a student in this field, and I just want to know more about what happens in the workplace. Because we are students, we think that everything is...
It's just going to fall into place.
Everything's just going to fall into place. It's just balloons everywhere. Everything is just going to work out the way I thought it was going to work out when I go to work. And you finish, you graduate, and then boom, first of all, it's hard to get a job. And then, okay, boom, you get a job. It's hard in corporate SA, right? So we need people in corporate to go into varsities and talk to the students about the workplace.
Yeah, I think it's that bridging of the gap between the different industries, because I was actually having a conversation with Bonnie on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the system seems like it's just flushing people towards work. And you end up having people who are incompetent at work, who don't really have the love for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you get someone who's in primary or high school where the passing rate is 30%.
You see that one, don't get me started.
You get what I mean? So it's like you're just flashing each other. And I think there's that, I don't know if this is a real thing.
It makes us lazy.
Yes. So I don't know if this is a real thing where apparently if you fail too much, they end up having to push you. Like, okay, just, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I don't have a fact checker.
Yeah.
I would have went to my fact checker, then they just checked, right? But what I'm trying to say is the system is just flashing the people towards getting into varsities, or when they get into varsities, they get to work. When they get to work, you don't have an idea of what you want to do.
You don't have the
Even
capacity.
in electrical engineering, the electrical engineering is broad. Like you said, IT is broad. So there's so many things that you can actually do. So us having this platform is actually trying to say, guys,
let's bridge the gap.
If I meet, because I've already talked to Tendo, she's an IT
project manager,
yes. So you have different people in IT, so that way it gives you an understanding of what you're going to be doing. I think that will be the next question. Right. So what do you do as a support analyst now? Yes, I think maybe if you can bring up, you can also bring up other experience that you actually get.
So I'd like to believe that it doesn't matter where you are in IT, you are support one way or the other.
I agree with you. I do.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Sure.
Because whether you're a business analyst, you are doing what you're doing to support either the business or an application or a business product, so that the end user is able to do their function.
Properly, yes.
Or whether you're a test analyst, you're testing that application or that product so that the end user can do their function.
So you guys are in the service product
operations.
Operations.
Yes. We service. We serve.
Yeah. Sure.
We are here to serve. So I started, like I said, desktop support.
Yeah.
And then that internship was for 1 year. And then I got another internship at another company. It was also for 1 year. But I got a permanent job before that 1 year was over within that same company. That is another divine story.
Sure.
And then the permanent was now as an access, like in access management. I was the access girl. Like I granted access. If you're not supposed to get the access, we decline the access. When you start working in the company, we create your account and we give you all the access that you require. I did access management, and then from there.
So what was it like? What were you accessing?
It's access. I granted access to applications.
Okay.
whatever application that the end user will be using, I would give access to that if it was within our department. And then, like I said, I would create the account with a password and send it to you or give it to you. I would give you network drive access, like, whatever access that you need to do your job.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, we gave the access. And then from there, I went to an American company that just had just started in Cape Town.
Okay.
Retail Next, I'll actually call it out. It was something different there. We did auditing, but of cameras.
Okay.
So it was something, it was something very interesting. Yet at the same time, over time, I realized that this is actually not IT. So I had to get out of it.
Okay.
And then I had an opportunity to do something that I had never done before. I had no experience in. And that was to be a transition lead. Transition lead, you could say it dabbles between your project coordinator, project management, Scrum Master vibes.
What is a Scrum Master?
Oh, okay. You're asking me something. I can't give you the full scope of what a Scrum Master is. But in what I was doing, we would get a client would buy a service, and then we would have to provide that service to them, right? So I was the hub between the client and the internal stakeholders.
Okay.
So we had to ensure that the internal stakeholders, they do what they have to do in order for us to service that the client has, the service that the client has bought from the company.
Okay.
So I used to be on their necks. I remember this other guy from UK was like, this Eugenia person. It was scary because I had to tell people who are older than me that, no, you must do this, and I want it on this day.
You're the project manager at the end of the day.
It was like there, right?
Sure.
And then I came back now from there into support again.
Okay.
So, but right now, I always say to my manager also that, like, this is 4 departments in one. It's 4 departments in one.
Okay.
Currently where I'm at, right? Because we have to support these applications that are used at my company. We have to do first line support before it goes to second line, which is desktop support. Whatever issues that the end user might have with their machine or with any application or system, we have to try and resolve it first before sending it to second line support, right? So there's first line support, there's second line support, and then there's third line support. So it starts with us. We have to try and resolve the issue. And then when we resolve it, we close the task. We are done with that.
Okay.
But if we couldn't resolve it, we have to write down the troubleshooting that we've done before we send it to the second line support.
Sure.
And then we also do access management.
Yes.
You see, like I come from an access management background.
Yes.
And now within my current role, I also do access management.
Access management,
So when people join the company, I create their accounts, send them their passwords, welcome emails. I give them access to the applications that they'll be using for their role.
Their work, yeah.
Yes. And I support them once they are in the... and we also do IT access training. When they start, we basically do a presentation for all the people starting at the company.
Sure.
So presentation skills are key as well.
Okay.
So we do that. So we do quite a lot in my current role.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have been in you have been in different companies and you have been working for over a decade now, right? That's a lot to kind of like take in, and it means that you are a seasoned IT.
A seasoned, yeah.
Yes. So please explain the one of your highs and one of your lows in your experience as
in
support.
IT.
Yeah.
I don't think there are necessarily lows within IT, because IT is exciting.
Okay.
I'm still developing my love for it. I still want to grow in it. Like we said earlier on, it's broad. There's a lot that one can still do within it, right? There are lows within the workforce, within the industry, within just working for corporate. I would say there are lows in corporate and there are highs. But within IT itself, I don't think I would say there are lows. It just depends on how you see things, how you choose to see things, right? For me, currently, the lows is the fact that I want something different. And like you said, once you are in something that you started off with in industry, right? You become either comfortable, that it makes it hard for you to get out of it and do something else.
Sure.
Because now, again, in South Africa or in the world actually, they want experience. They don't just want papers, right? You can have your diploma,
Masters.
You can have your master's, you can have your whatever degree, but they will say they want experience. Now, even when you are in industry already, they still want experience. So right now, I can't say, for example, I want to tap into IT security. Just because I've been in
support,
IT for over a decade, right? Oh, it sounds so old when I say over a decade. Like, just because I've been in IT for over a decade, I can't just tap into IT security without certifications, and they will still want experience.
Sure. Yeah.
So even when you are in, it's difficult for you to sort of pivot because they still want experience.
Yes.
So you always have to, those are the lows, actually.
Like when you
want to expand, but you get stifled because you don't have the experience.
Yes.
Right? But then again, you can't blame them. It's on you as well.
No, but I think it's you can't really say it's on you, because remember, in order for you to be competent, you need to have the hours. Is it
10,000 hours?
Yes, the 10,000 hours thing. So you now, I would like to believe that you're a seasoned analyst, support analyst, right? So into anything when it comes to support, I guess you're an expert in that.
I can do that with my eyes closed.
Exactly. So them bringing you into security or
any other
thing, they would want someone who can do it, like you said. You do the class, yes. So the thing is, you can't really pursue both.
Yeah.
Only now you can actually I guess be humble and start over. But the thing is,
and you don't really have to start over.
Okay.
So what do I mean when I say it's on you? Your growth is your responsibility.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely, yes.
Right? Your career development is your responsibility.
Yeah.
So right now, I want to pivot. It's my responsibility to go into these certifications.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, sure.
It's my responsibility to shadow someone from, say, the department that I want to tap into.
Exactly.
That's why I say once you are inside, you can always grow, but it's on you. You have to network.
Yes, that's right.
You have to take responsibility for your own career growth once you're inside. I
think for you it's easier because if you're working in a company that actually already has security, you can actually just, in your spare time during office hours, you can always
even your lunchtime.
Exactly.
Sacrifice your stomach.
You see, I think that would work. That would definitely work if you're doing it that way. But the other conversation is for someone who's like me, who is in the consulting engineering space. For me to know, let's say maybe instrumentation, probably I will have to leave my job and actually start over into a new company. And yes, the stuff that I know as a consultant is good, but it doesn't, we don't really need that information we needed some there and there, but the thing is now the biggest challenge is it's either you don't want to leave because maybe money wise
Chelete.
you'll be
You must
starting
start
over.
from scratch.
Yes, so you don't want to start from scratch.
You don't,
But
yeah.
if the company is willing to say, okay, it looks like you are seasoned in this area, but we were willing to trust you and grow you in this one. But it's rare. But if you find that, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think we're still on the lows. And then we can get to the highs.
Yeah. The highs, like I said, for me currently in my role, the highs is when I am able to nail something and resolve it without having to escalate it.
Nice.
Like hearing a relief from the end user, right? Be it via Teams, our chatting platform, like Teams, like your Slack, like your WhatsApp, but your work WhatsApp, your via phone call.
Yeah.
Because we assist them remotely.
Yes.
So we remote to their machines to assist them.
Any desk.
So we use AnyDesk or SCCM, right?
Sure.
So when I am able to resolve an issue without having to escalate it to second line support or third line support, that is the best for me. I love resolving issues and making the client happy that now this is working, I can find it. And sometimes they laugh and say, hey, I was stupid, I'm so sorry, Eugenia. I should have known that, but not everyone. You'll be shocked that even people coming from varsity who have studied different things outside of IT, it's as if they don't come from varsity in terms of knowing how to use the device like a computer.
Definitely, yeah.
It's shocking actually, and I'm like, but people should come into industry with at least computer literacy. Yeah. But like, it's shocking that.
Do you guys have it in IT? Computer literacy?
For not really, because we just jumped into it.
They assume that you guys know.
We just got into it. But I believe that other courses, like in business departments or wherever, electrical or in engineering departments, I'd like to believe there's a computer course.
Yes, we do have a computer course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like people forget when they go into the workplace, they forget about that computer course.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to resolve an issue an end user or client had without having to take it to those who are senior, right? And just to hear them being happy. For me, that is like my highs within my current role. And within IT as a whole, the highs is the fact that it's big, it's broad, it's exciting, it's forever evolving, meaning it's always going to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
So that's the highs of IT. That you're always going to be on your toes, if you're not lazy, by the way.
Okay.
Because there are people who are very lax, like they just relaxed, like they just want to exist. So I don't like that. I love work. I love working. So I don't like being bored.
Okay.
And that includes in what I do for my job. I don't want to be bored. So meaning I always want a challenge. Yeah. I want my brain to be stretched. So that's the exciting thing for me. Like right now I want to pivot to IT risk. So now what must I do? I need to do certifications. I need to go study. I need to go back to school and study. And I need to network within the company, then whether I'm going to get an opportunity within or outside, right? But I need to start networking with those who are already ahead of me, who are in that space. If I can sacrifice my lunch, like I said earlier on, I need to go and shadow those who are in that space so that I can see what do they do on a daily basis, right? So, and I did that. I spoke with the head of risk and I said, this is what I'd like to do. And she was excited. It's like, I love when young people, she's like, I love when young people want to grow and learn and expand.
Sure.
And then she assigned someone to talk to me with regards to who's in that department already.
Nice.
And that person advised me, go to school, go study this, do that, right? And I took that advice. So there's a lot that you can do.
Nice.
And you just have to be willing to do it.
I just want you to just explain what IT risk is.
I don't know yet.
Okay. All the best. The best with that.
But you're like IT risk, IT governance, IT compliance, IT security.
Okay.
Like that umbrella.
Yes.
I want to tap into that space.
Nice.
Yes.
Sounds interesting, and yeah, all the best with that.
Thank you.
I think the other name for the podcast, for those who are listening, it's the Learn and Thrive podcast.
I love that name. Learn and Thrive podcast.
Learn and Thrive. So I was just been thinking that Stege podcast is something that people, okay, I don't know what Stege is. I'm not going to explain what Stege is. I know people always want to ask.
I've been asking myself, I'm like, okay, let me just leave it.
So this will be Stege podcast still, but it will it's like some form of a motto, the Learn and Thrive podcast.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to learn and we're trying to make progress.
Yes.
And I think you're a perfect example of that, to say that you're studying this and you want to pivot and try something different. And I'm glad that it's still in the same department. So like I want to do medicine.
At this age, you
don't
can't
want
be
to
starting from
medicine.
scratch. you can't be, because what I've come to learn also in the workplace is that everyone is there for their own reasons.
Sure.
And it's not everyone is there because they enjoy what they are doing.
True.
Not everyone is there because they love what they're doing, they enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
Some people are there for the bag, and there's nothing wrong being there for the bag. Like we've got our own goals.
As long as you do your work,
Yeah, as long as you do your work and you do it excellently.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how you feel. I'm for excellence. Like I always say, I serve an excellent God, therefore I should do everything excellently, right?
What's up?
Like you regardless of how you feel, whether you don't like your manager or not, whether you enjoy what you're doing or not, you are there, you are working. Not many people can say that in the South Africa, our land.
Okay.
Not many can say that.
Yeah.
So do your work, do what you are there for.
Yeah.
And do it excellently.
Yeah.
Show up. Arrive on time. Don't be late. I don't believe in African time. There's this other statement in a movie where it says, on time is early is late is unacceptable. I love that. I'm like, I don't believe in African time. Show up for your work, whether you like it or not, whether you enjoy it or not. Show up on time and do your work with excellence until you get to a place where you want to be.
Yeah.
Right? Because where we are, everything that you do in industry, like right now, I'm in support. It's a stepping stone to where I want to go to.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone. So always think in that manner that, okay, I might not be where I want to be, but where I'm at right now, I'm going to use it as a stepping stone to launch me to where I want to go.
I did say this before we actually recorded it, that this is the one thing that we can say that we can give to the young ones or give to our young ones, because it looks like this is from a black perspective, right? That we couldn't give so many things an inheritance to our children. But if you can give your children inheritance of knowing what you did and them deciding if they still want to do that, this is an opportunity to say, imagine now you did not only tech support, now you're doing risk and the umbrella of risk. That means you're becoming a juggernaut in terms of understanding the world of IT.
Yeah.
So what that means is whoever that you're going to be, that's if they want to do IT, you can relay that information, and when the moment they get to the first job, They don't even have to go and look for tech support or whatever. Like, and I know I want to do analyst or what do you call this, risk management. So they already have an idea of what they want to do, and they've already actually have an idea in terms of mastering it already. So this is a platform that we can give something to the young ones, so that at least, because at the end of the day, this is the kind of work that we're doing. AI aside,
AI aside, because it is
because
and you can also actually study it.
Yes.
Like machine learning,
Yes.
you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, for those who are interested in learning that, we will just, because now everything is going to the cloud, right?
Yes, definitely.
And AI, it's here.
Definitely.
It's not going anywhere.
Yes. So
you can dabble into that as well if that's what tickles your fancy or what interests you. It's a lot.
There's so much that we can do in terms of give back to those who are listening and to our children, so that they can, when they get to the industry, they don't have to start from scratch
or be shocked.
Yes, exactly. Or even go to varsity, because you don't have to go to varsity. You can actually start your company. If I can tell you what to do as a consultant, because I'm working for a consulting company. So they went to varsity, but they have the school fees.
But also, I believe that going to varsity or going for higher learning, right? It's not just for you to get a job.
Sure.
It's for your brain to expand. Like it's for capacity. It's for resilience, right? So we shouldn't despise going to varsity.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, like, because when you have knowledge, no one can ever take knowledge away from you.
That's correct.
And also, because nowadays we are in an era where people are despising 9 to 5. There's no need to despise 9 to 5 and say you want to. I don't like the word hustle, by the way. I believe that we're not created to hustle. We don't have to despise 9 to 5 or being in corporate SA because we want to have our own businesses. Not everyone is going to be a business owner. Because now if everyone is a business owner, who's going to, I mean, you understand. But also, argument, I love what you said, because I wish they could change the curriculum, the school curriculum.
Sure.
From, if possible, from grade 1
all
the way to your final year of varsity. There should always be a subject of entrepreneurship all the way.
Yeah.
And for me, saying that is so that if you go to varsity and you study whatever you study, right? Say, let's use IT. You study IT, and then I don't know, for whatever reason in this IT you are not getting any job at all. But you have this entrepreneurship that you've done as a subject or as a course. Not as a course, as a subject throughout, from primary school all the way to your final year of varsity. You can say, okay, I've done this, I'm not getting a job in this, I'm going to start a company in this, which I have studied.
Sure.
And I think that's where we're sort of lacking in that, because now you've got a diploma, you've got a degree, and you're not getting a job in what you've studied. And it's like, there's no jobs. But imagine if we were empowered to be entrepreneurs. We could be starting companies in that which we have studied.
Yes. And I think the study of a company as well, it's a big, those who are doing business, they will tell you that
it's hard.
It's not straightforward.
Yeah, it's hard.
You getting clients and maintaining
easy,
clients and all those stuff. There's a huge learning curve. I want to just close it on this. I think you mentioned the highs and lows for IT. I wanted you to just touch a bit on the highs and lows of corporate.
Ciao.
Why I'm saying that is, it's part of the realities of the things that we're doing at work. People need to understand that besides doing the work or dealing with a client, you have to also deal with your co-workers, you have to deal with your managers, you have to deal with all those, that side of things, right? So just make it if you can just give me just an example of on your highs and lows, then we can just close it after that.
Sure, corporate essay, you need to be strong. You need to have resilience. And whatever you believe in, you better believe in it strongly. Not only ankle deep, knee deep, whatever you believe in. For me, I believe in God. So I have to be very strong as well. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. There's someone who was saying, sometimes when I come back from work, it's like I was in a boxing ring.
Sure.
It was like I was in a boxing ring. It's like you are fighting for your life. And hence I'm saying you need to be strong, you need to be resilient.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing now, even in the space that I'm like in, is that I see a lot of I'm at 2000. Hey,
Sure.
they resign quickly.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, resilience, guys. Like, because again, you're in varsity and you're just in this cloud of everything is going to be like hanky-dory.
Yes.
It's
said
just
balloons.
fun. Balloons. Different color.
Sure.
Color balloons, right?
Sure.
It's not. I'm sorry, I'm going to be honest with that. It's not. You can make it for yourself. So for me, I've been in environments where everything is well, I'm happy, and then I've been in toxic environments as well, right? Yeah. And I'm going to speak about, because if you're in a happy environment, it is well with your soul. Yeah. But when you're in a toxic environment, how to deal with that?
Changes you, or
don't allow it to change you. It can change you for the worst, or it can change you for good.
I want to use the word you get to learn a lot about yourself.
About yourself.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Yes.
You get to learn a lot about yourself. And for me, I've learned that when I'm in a toxic, it's not easy to work in a toxic environment, but also don't just resign easily. Don't quit easily. Don't allow,
Preach.
Don't allow another human being to take food out of your mouth whilst they still have food in their mouth.
Buzz.
Do not. So that's why I'm saying you need to be strong, you need to be resilient. So for me, I've learned, I call it a happy bubble. When I'm in a toxic environment, I will cry, especially if something happened to me directly. I will cry about it. I will pray about it. I will wrestle about it. I will talk to God about it. I will vent about it. There's nothing wrong in venting to people that you feel safe with, obviously. And then after you've done all of that and you've released it, create your own happy bubble and live within that happy bubble. Because especially if maybe your co-workers did something to you, at the end of the day, you still have to work with them.
Yeah.
Because you're still in that space, right? And while you're still in that space, you need to learn how to be professionalism.
I like that.
Remain professional at all times, no matter how hurt you are. Rather, stand up, go to the bathroom and cry. Wash your face afterwards, go back to your seat and continue pushing. You need to push through in corporate essay, in corporate everywhere in the world. You need to learn how to push through. You need to understand that I'm not you. I met these people here. You met them there. I mean, they were not your friends before you went there.
Yeah.
You didn't know them from anywhere. You met them there. So even the manager, you met the manager there, right? So you need to learn how to be professional at all times, regardless of what is happening in your space. Do your work, again, like I said, with excellence, and look for another job.
Don't be quick to quit.
Don't be quick to quit, but
job.
look for another job if you will not be able to handle. Again,
Yes,
it depends on what is happening, and also it depends on your capacity to handle what is happening.
I'm tempted to ask for an example, but
No, you can ask.
Is there a time, or maybe explain a time where you actually cried and what caused it?
Last year.
What caused that? What was actually happening?
Oh My goodness.
And I don't want to rehash the same
No,
emotions.
yeah. Now I've overcome the situation. So,
Sure.
and I hated that I cried. Because I've been taught by a wise man of God that you do not cry in the face of your enemy.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I was backstabbed
Okay.
by my peers, by my colleagues. It hurt. I was shocked because it was the first time that it ever happened to me in all my years of working. I cried about it. I didn't understand. I'm like, why is this? It was like a Hurricane Katrina all of a sudden just happened in my career life from nowhere. I'm like, what is happening? But I knew that I have to go back to the place of prayer. And that's exactly what I did. And now I'm in my happy bubble, right? They played their cards. I know how they are. I choose how to be. I remain professional.
Yeah. Was it like being thrown under the bus?
Yes. Oh, not even a bus, a Gautrain. I was thrown under the Gautrain.
What was happening?
I was thrown under the Gautrain. And my character was being attacked. It was not even work related.
Sure.
It was my character that was being attacked.
Okay.
And I couldn't understand why. All right. And it's funny how God works. That something then happened, right? And then the people who backstabbed me, they had conflict themselves. And then one of them started singing like a canary, what happened and why it happened the way it happened to me last year.
Sure.
So, yeah. But I overcame it.
Sure.
I overcame it. And I'm just remaining professional. I'm doing my work with excellence, because when it comes to my work ethic, you cannot touch me. And that's why they couldn't attack my work ethic.
So they had to come on the character side.
So they came on the character side and personality side.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a person, my philosophy in the workplace is that I'm not there to fraternize. I'm there to work. So another wise man of God once said that friendship is by choice, not by force. So my colleagues are my colleagues. They're not necessarily my friends. So you'll find that some people in the workplace, they want to be your friends. So if they can't penetrate that space in your life of being your friend, it's like, So you need to know the difference between a colleague and a friend. Your colleagues are not necessarily your friends, right? They are colleagues, and you must treat them in that manner.
Nice. Let's go to the highs, so that at least you can live in a happy bubble.
I live in my happy bubble. It's important to create yourself a happy bubble in corporate.
Yeah.
And what I learned from that experience last year is like, you need an attorney in corporate.
Nice.
You need to have a lawyer.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to know the labor law. Because we just love. We don't even know the labor law. But we are laborers, right?
Yeah.
You need to know the labor law. You need to know your rights.
Poppy Act.
You need to know your rights, and you need to, I feel like you need to have a lawyer in corporate. I really feel that you need to have a lawyer in corporate, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. You don't want to be that person who's been dismissed unfairly.
Yes, I wanted to take it there. That was it to a point where you almost lost your job or something?
Unfortunately for them. Okay. God is on my side.
Come on.
Unfortunately for them. Like I said, when it comes to my work, you can't touch me.
Yeah.
You can't even say I came late, because like I said, I don't believe in African time. When it comes, especially with work, like I don't play.
Yeah.
And I do my work with excellence, right? So they came for my personality and character. But that's not grounds to get someone dismissed.
Dismissed, yes, definitely.
No.
I think that's a learning curve for those who are listening.
Yeah. Watch yourself, guys. In corporate, watch yourself.
Protect yourself.
Cover yourself. Cover your back.
Yes, protect yourself with your work ethic.
Yes.
And
come on
close
time.
all the loopholes.
Close all the. Close all the. I love that one. Close all the loopholes.
Yeah.
Make sure that your work ethic is strong and do your work with excellence. Show up on time.
Sure.
Show up.
On time.
Even if it rains. I used to walk in the darkness to go catch my city bus.
Especially in winter in Cape Town.
Winter in Cape Town, and it would be storming.
7 o'clock, it's dark.
I had to be at work, my first job ever. That's why I'm so grateful for that job, because it taught me how to be in industry.
Okay.
It gave me that strong work ethic. I had to be at work at 7 a.m.
Nice.
And to travel there, I had to leave the house at 25 past 5.
Sure.
So that I can go catch my city bus that will arrive there either 6:30 or 7:15. So, yeah, show up on time. You have no excuses to be late for work. Even traffic is not an enough excuse
Sure.
because that means you use that route. That is my fight with some of my colleagues all the time, that you use that route every day to go to work. And you're still crying that traffic was bad. No, it's your time management.
I like that. I said I like that.
It's your time management.
Sure.
You know that, okay, I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. And I know this traffic. You see me when I work at the 8 o'clock shift, because I work shifts.
Yeah.
When I work the 8 o'clock shift, I still leave the house as if I'm going for the 7 a.m. shift. Because I know the traffic from my area to where I'm going.
Yes.
That after 6:15, it's a hotmess.com. So I'm like, no, you know the route that you take.
Sure.
So yeah, time management, excellent work ethic, and create your happy bubble.
Come on. I like that. We are now over an hour.
Yeah.
I just want you to give me that happy bubble. No, not happy bubble. Your high, and then after the high, then we can just get to the conclusion of the podcast.
The high of corporate.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to be honest again, like I said earlier on, that everyone is in the workplace for their own reasons.
Yeah.
And some of it is the bag and the benefits.
Sure.
And many people are stuck in corporate and are afraid to even start their businesses because of the comfort of being stable. Like, because when you're in business, volatility financially is a lot. Whereas, it's stable. You know that it's guaranteed and it's stable.
Sure.
Right? Do you know that to a point where benefits can keep you in a company even though you're not happy in that company? Only because you know that salary increase is guaranteed here. Bonus, it's guaranteed here. Payment for my school, for my kids' school fees for 4 quarters, even though it's not the entire amount of the school fees, but a certain amount, it's guaranteed here.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? Free lunch for those companies who give free lunch, you know?
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. So some people even stay free gym, you know? People stay because of the perks.
Sure.
Not necessarily the fact that they even love the company or they love what they do.
Yeah.
Some people, it's not everyone, some people do love what they do.
Yeah.
But the major reason is the perks. So for me, the highs of being in corporate is the stability, because then it gets you used to a lifestyle of, I don't have to breathe, as that saying, breathing through the wound.
Sure,
you don't have to breathe through the wound financially.
Sure.
You don't have to. Especially if you're also good with your finances and you're able to manage your finances accordingly. You don't have to even live paycheck to paycheck, right? If you know how to manage your finances. So it's that comfort of knowing that I have a stable income. I'm able to do X, Y, Z.
Sure.
At the end, every month, not even at the end of the month, but every month, I'm able to go do my nails. I'm able to go do my hair. I'm able to buy groceries from the shop that I want to.
And buy the things that you
And
actually
buy
want.
the things that I want, not things that I have to eat by force because, So those are the highs of corporate. And for me, again, the other high is I get to wake up and go do something. There are many people who have degrees and diplomas and they are sleeping in because they can't wake up and go somewhere to go
Do I
work.
work? Yeah.
So for me, that is one of my highs that I'm able to say, I'm able to make impact in my end user's life.
I like that. And I think maybe in closing I think this podcast was more for me, what's this word? To a lot of gems of wisdom. And I think for people who are listening to this, they can actually get a lot of wisdom out of our conversation. That's what I actually got for myself as well. So as you are preaching there, I'm also saying, preach. I like that one. You must not be there later. There's no African time. I like that. And thank you so much for honoring the invite.
Yeah.
And in conclusion or in closing, I just wanted to encourage any words of encouragement for anyone who's listening.
I'll start with the students. I love students only because I've been that student. I understand what they're going through. I don't want to cry. I understand that it's not easy for them. It's hard. I understand the depression because I've been there, that they go through. It's not nice to fail. So those who are failing, I got your back. I know. I understand how you feel. Don't give up. Don't give up. You need to have a why. Why are you there? And why are you doing what you're doing?
Sure.
Have a why, because it's your why that will help you to push through. Have a why. My why was I'm a firstborn. I can't give up. I can't quit.
Yeah,
I wanted to quit many times.
Co-parents.
I wanted to quit studying IT so many times. I remember I even wanted to change and go to the science department,
Sure.
because I also enjoyed physics in high school.
Yeah.
I wanted to give up so many times, but I had to push through because my thing was like, I'm the firstborn child. I can't give up. And then for those who are in corporate, remain professional. Do not let anyone take money out of your bank account, food out of your family's mouth, because there's also black tax for people who are in corporate. They're not only taking care of themselves, of their core families, husband, wife, children, but they're taking care of their extended families,
yeah.
right? Do not allow any individual, do not allow any co-worker or even manager to take that away from you and your family. Again, they have a why. Why are you there? What are your goals in life, right? And always put that at the forefront and push through and create your happy bubble.
Nice.
And live in there.
Thank you so much, Eugenia.
Thank you.
I really appreciate this. And I think this is going to be one of the best podcasts. I think I should start telling my guests to post. Please post. Please tell everyone, hey guys, I was on a podcast.
I will share.
I was sharing some nice things there.
And thank you for seeing me. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Okay.
Thank you for seeing me and for giving me a platform to share a little bit of my story and my career, because it's a lot.
Yes,
I had to compress it.
Definitely. Definitely.
For sharing my story, my career journey, and yeah, thank you for giving me that platform, because like I said, I wish I had this type of platform when I was a student, and I'm really grateful that you started this for those who are coming after us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I applaud you.
Thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much, everyone, and see you in the next one.
Thank you.